welcome to Would-Be's Carpool Movie Critique, where several weeks in a row, the four of us see a movie and critique it on the ride home. This week, we saw Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, clearly a love letter to 80s pop culture, most notably gaming culture. I honestly haven't read the book for quite a few years.
So you had read it?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. But I forgot quite a lot of the minutiae, and a lot of that was kind of like re-jog when I saw the movie. Few key differences I felt anyway in there. What I really kind of did appreciate was the effort they did go to kind of portray gamer culture and what life is like as a gamer, how gamers interact with each other. Gamers have their own language. There's a hierarchy in gaming, and it was nice to see that they made steps to show what life as a gamer is kind of like, which, I don't know, I mean, you guys don't strike me as particularly gamery people. Was that interesting to see a slightly different world from a slightly different perspective? And then we're saying, okay, great, nod of heads, super.
Well, I feel like that's a world that I am slowly stepping into, so it felt really good as kind of like a noob to be like, I knew that one.
Yeah.
See, that's the opposite for me. I started playing a lot of video games and now don't find the time to do it anymore, but I enjoyed that. That gave me the nostalgia I think they were looking for.
Totally.
That was really good.
And I really enjoyed...
And I'm a complete outsider, so we've got the entire spectrum in this car.
What are games?
I also really like the way they portrayed the tech in the movie. So like all the VR stuff. Yeah. I think that was really, really cool. And honestly, I think you've sat down with people who know the industry, who know which direction it's headed in, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw stuff like that readily available on the market.
Specifically, what do you think that we're going to see in the next 5 years?
I mean, a lot of that stuff we already have. We already have VR sets, we have VR gloves, we have those multi-directional treadmills that you can walk on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! And,
actually, we were thinking about buying one, and then we were like, that's too
Really?
expensive and it's going to be outdated very quickly, so no.
But yeah, I mean, before long, we're totally going to be able to have those super throne-like chairs where you can just use
hamster
yours.
ball.
The hamster ball, yeah.
What about the haptic suits, all the way across the body? Is that a thing that's
if
happening?
that's not already a thing or being developed, I
It
would
will
be
be a thing.
hugely surprised. Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable, honestly. So, yeah.
You're right, it's basically Second Life meets video game in VR.
Pretty much.
That's the oasis.
Yeah.
Second Life in VR.
What
With
movie?
fun stuff.
What movie am I thinking about where everybody is fat and chained in these seats and they're living
Wall-E.
these...
Wall-E.
Oh my gosh, that's
Wall-E.
Yeah, you're thinking about Wall-E.
Yeah, you're thinking about Wall-E.
Man, I thought there was just going to be a really dark movie that you were talking about, but no, it was
Wall-E is dark.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it is kind of dark.
Yeah.
Way to make it palatable, Disney.
Okay, so you said that the tech and the gaming culture really nods back to the 80s, and it's kind of a love letter in that respect. I think it's also true with the music. Now, it's not strictly 80s. There's some 70s in there as well. And the way that they chose disco. The way that they chose it is they sort of presented a list to Steven Spielberg, and he almost never uses a musical director because everything's usually scored in his films. So they presented him with a list, and he was kind of like, yes, no, that's my favorite song, yeah, so that's in. And
That's it.
and yeah, but what's really cool is they got Alan Silvestri to do the score, but it felt very John Williams-esque, which, as we know, Spielberg and John Williams have done many, many projects together. So Alan Silvestri did this beautiful thing where he, I'm distracted by that guy's mustache, holy shit.
Holy mother of mustache! And that is one yellow pickup truck.
Yes, it is. Okay. Whew. So Alan Silvestri did this very cool thing where he made a soundtrack that not only fit the movie, but it also had nods to other genres and Steven Spielberg's previous work. And then the songs that they licensed, the ones that we already know, like the Prince song and
Why is he putting his fingers in his
Minnesota
ear?
Jump.
Pride, guys.
Jump, yes.
Van Halen.
So a lot of those had
That's
kind
the
of
opening.
Easter eggy bits to them,
Right.
which is a huge theme in the movie, which you'll talk about. But musically, some of the Easter eggs that I found were really funny is when the DeLorean showed up, they had the first DeLorean reveal scene. When King Kong showed up, they had the King Kong theme.
Yep.
It was really seamless.
Jump, right at the beginning of the movies, when he's like sliding down stuff and jumping. So it's like, it was, if you didn't quite catch it, if you watch it again, you'll be like, oh, I see that.
And The Shining.
And The Shining. Oh gosh.
And The Shining.
I think that was a great,
And a Mechagodzilla.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mechagodzilla, that's right. So we've got the tech, we've got the music. What about the acting?
So acting, we saw Mark Rylace again,
Yay!
teaming up with Spielberg. And so I was sitting next to Remi in the theater, and I was just like, I saw him on screen, couldn't think of his name for the longest time, and I was just like, Bridge of Spies! And Remi's like, oh my god! So it was phenomenal to see him in yet a completely different role.
Yep.
And then we have Simon Pegg as another main character or important figure in the film. And usually Simon Pegg, like the stuff I love of him at least, he's the funny guy or the quirky guy. And now Mark Rylace, like he just completely nailed it. He was this quirky, offbeat, I don't know. I loved it. What did you guys think about it?
Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
He was on the spectrum.
Yeah.
And then you see him
He
as
was
a
the
child.
spectrum.
He was the spectrum. He's one end of the
Rude.
spectrum.
It's the spectrum of all things. Oasis.
But yeah, I mean, if they reversed those roles and they had Simon Pegg doing Holiday and Mark Rylace doing Og, I mean, that just would not have worked.
Yeah,
No,
It
yeah.
would have been a goofy,
Goofy,
like
yeah.
farcical kind of
Exactly,
version,
I
Yeah.
agree.
rather than this, which was very believable.
It was very enticing.
Yeah.
It was like, you wanted to talk to him. Like,
Yeah, and he was such like he's such an empathetic character.
Mhm,
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god, the mustaches followed us. Sorry.
He keeps like poking his fingers in his various facial orifices.
He is.
Fun.
I don't want to look anymore.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, so the movie really does a good job with the music and the video games to create that nostalgia. And I think really, for me, it worked at the first second. Well, as soon as I heard Jump, I'm like, all right, I'm there.
It hooked you in.
It got me in. Really hooked me in. And so I think like the story in the novel really calls for all of these video game Easter eggs. I haven't read the book, so can you tell me if all of the movie Easter eggs were also part of it, or is that something that Steven Spielberg really brought in?
Well, the movie Easter eggs are definitely like a huge thing
Okay.
in the book. I mean,
Okay.
case in point, the DeLorean. The DeLorean is
Fair enough.
like referenced and talked about quite a lot in the book.
Okay.
Yeah, more so than they kind of just like brushed over that in the movie. But then again, with all those popular culture references, they kind of had to brush over everything.
Well, it makes sense to me too, because it seems like actually the writer, does anybody have his name? I forgot it.
Ernest Cline.
Okay, he seemed to be a fan of Steven Spielberg in one of the interviews that I had seen, and so it doesn't surprise me that the DeLorean is in it because Spielberg produced it. The T-Rex
Back
from
to the
Jurassic
Future.
Park, but yeah, Back to the Future really plays a big role in that film. Right? You have the DeLorean, you have the Zemeckis Cube, the director is Zemeckis. Van Halen.
You literally have the DeLorean going backwards.
Exactly.
Like going backwards.
And
Is
that's
it-
such an integral part.
I really like the fact that the Zemeckis Cube actually brings you back in time 60 seconds. You know, that was cool. Also, and I caught it and I couldn't remember if that was a Back to the Future reference, so I looked it up. When Wade is trying to find the outfit for his date, next to his changing room, you have a poster that looks like an election poster, and it's one of the election posters from Back to the Future. I think it's the
way.
second
Is it
one.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was
I
pretty
missed
cool.
that.
Well,
That's
And then another go for it.
Yeah, there was also a poster of Indiana Jones in the room.
Uh-huh.
Did you
a,
see?
man, I missed that too.
Yeah.
It was just completely covered with Easter
Oh
eggs.
yeah. And what I like though is that one of the movies that is referenced in there is Last Action Hero, and it's not necessarily one of the most famous like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. By the way, I hope you recover from your heart surgery. Anyway,
Best wishes, Governator.
but it's basically one of my favorite Schwarzenegger movies, just because it's an action movie. That's what he is known for, but it doesn't take itself seriously. It's kind of like a Deadpool before its age in terms of like action versus superhero. It's really fun. I would watch it again.
Oh.
I need to watch it in English though, because I haven't seen it in English yet. Anyway, so tons of movies. Most of those movies that are referenced in Ready Player One are like classic nerd movies, like Terminator 2. Best scene in the movie for Terminator 2.
Arguably so.
Alien.
Oh yeah, that was
Yes! That was phenomenal.
That was kind of cool.
If you haven't seen it, it will make sense eventually.
Well, even just that scene is like Alien meets Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
It's like, gore. Anyway, like, if you're a giant nerd, if you're missing the
Even
80s,
if you're not, I'm
the
not
90s,
a giant nerd.
or if you want to discover what your uncles, daddies, and mommies are telling you about,
Grandparents.
shit. Yeah. Also, grandparents.
Oh.
If you're young, go watch the movie.
Okay, so there are game culture Easter eggs.
Yeah.
There's musical Easter eggs. There are movie Easter eggs, but there was one that was missing. Kelley, tell us about it.
There's no Easter egg after the credits!
What?
We sat and waited, and there are a lot of credits. I mean, everyone and their mother was involved in this film.
Seriously.
And then the screen goes black, and you're waiting because the lights are still off, and you're expecting your Easter egg because even the third Pirates of the Caribbean movie had an Easter egg, and there's nothing. And it's Easter weekend, and this is a film about Easter eggs, and that is just incredibly disappointing.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity.
Very, very, very much so.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Did anyone even think of it? I mean, like, I can't believe no one involved
Is it
with
a
that
sick
movie.
joke?
Because there were,
I mean-
you know, every person and their mother and their dog and their dog's mother was involved.
Maybe they ran out of money.
Yeah, because that's a
I don't know.
likelihood. They ran out of money. Come on.
Maybe they just got sick of it and they're like, you know what?
Well, the special effects were amazing, and
Yeah.
those are
Great
costly.
visuals.
Yeah.
Amazing
Because
visuals.
since LucasArts was involved with all that stuff.
Pretty much everything
uh,
from sound
Industrial Light and
to
Magic was,
artistry.
Yeah,
design.
as you're waiting for the Easter egg, you're gonna see Lucas Productions coming across the screen time and time again.
All right, what do you guys rate it?
Who starts?
James.
I'm gonna give it. I'm not happy about it, but I'm gonna give it a 3. I mean, honestly, the only reason I'm not giving it any lower than that is because it made efforts to reach out to gamers, which I
And
appreciate.
new gamers, and old gamers, and non-gamers.
Thank you. Thank you. But, I mean, that whole fucking film is a mess. It's a mess. There's so much stuff they crammed into it. It's just so saturated. Like, where's your attention supposed to be? Like,
Yeah.
which parts are you supposed to be picking out? This was just a list of people going, oh, we've got to have that in there. We've got to have that in there. We've got to have this guy in there. We're going to have this game. And the end credits, half of it is like special thanks to this company for allowing us to use your intellectual property. There's special thanks to this company for allowing us to use your character. This. Just
Yeah.
tone it down, please.
All right.
All right,
Amanda?
3 from James. So, I was so disappointed by the non-Easter egg at the end
It
that
tainted it.
I am going to give it 0 Bs.
No.
April Fool! Ah! No, I'm gonna give it 3 too because I have the same exact reaction. Like, I really did enjoy all of those little, like, hey, did you get that? Did you get that? But it did lack tension, except in Mark Rylace's character. So 3 for me, 3 Bs.
All right. Remi?
So, I'll give it I'll say 3 as well. Just because there are some missed opportunities, not only with the Easter egg, but also in the directing, in the shots. Like, in a movie that is so much about video games, you don't have any classic video games, like, shot composition. Like, first-person shooter, for example, or... what would you call that? I guess it's also a first person, but when you're in a car, you play GTA or whatever. In the race car, what a missed opportunity! That would have been great. And some people have done it recently in the film Game Night. In Game Night, actually, in the film that just came out with Jason Bateman,
That was really good.
Rachel McAdams. The director just decided to throw some of those here and there, and they fucking worked. They really worked. So I was disappointed to see that they didn't try that, I guess.
Yeah, especially because in one of the DeLorean scenes, they show him spinning around with the door open, shooting stuff like a lot.
And collecting all the coins.
Yeah, and collecting all, and they could have used something like that to like split it up so it's not the same kind of shot every time.
That would have been a nice reference. That being said, I did have a good time. I always have things to say about building tension. I felt like a lot of the times it fell flat. When they find the first key, when he gets the first key, there was no like me jumping out of my seat or getting chills or whatever. It didn't feel that important.
You didn't like the trombones that were playing
That
themselves?
was a really fun element, but I didn't feel the build up of the emotions and all that. Anyway,
It was shot from way up here, so the trombones were like tiny.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice them until he was like up to like the old wizard guy anyway. So I agree. Kelley, what's your rating?
Hey guys, I guess those of you who don't love gaming and video games might enjoy this movie more than the others, because I'm going to give it 4 Bs. I went into it rather upset because our Movie Pass did not work with the Ultra Screen. Movie Pass, get your shit together.
Seriously.
So we had to pay way more than we'd normally pay for a movie. That put me in a foul mood. And I'm super tired because I'm super pregnant right now, guys.
what?
I just a really big sandwich.
April Fools!
That's not fun. No, you're really pregnant.
Kelly, you're using April Fool's wrong.
Yeah, you're pregnant. That's not how it works.
But I had a really good time, and right when the film ended, I was just like, that was probably one of my favorite Spielberg films, because lately, I haven't been liking your work so much, Mr. Spielberg.
I feel like I have failed your education in terms of movies.
No, but I just, the post left a bad taste in my mouth.
Okay, fair enough.
Agreed.
Fair enough.
And so this was a really fun time. And if you have seen the movie and you have an opinion, please put that down in the comments. Let us know what you think. We look forward to seeing you guys next week.
I mean, we don't see you, but whatever.
We look forward to you seeing us.
And hearing from you.
Look at us! Look at us in all of our magnificence!
What he said.
Please do it.
Also, if you catch the gaming Easter egg reference in this car, you get a high five from me.
Hint.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.